You're watching By PPL's GabFest. Guest opinions do not reflect the opinions of the show sponsors. Video and audio quality is determined by the individual partaking in the program. We apologize in advance for any enlightened views of the industry or hurt feelings.
All right, welcome to our GabFest 2011 Huntington Beach. I'm with Alex Frazier, Team Dynasty. Oliver Lang with Team Dynasty. This episode's gonna be about the reunion and the bringing back the rock band back together, bringing everything back. I've known these guys a long time. I remember them on Team Lofty when they first started coming up back at San Diego Great Western 1997. Is that about right? Okay, so I remember these guys when they were just little pups, and these guys are like family to me, like my little brothers, my kids, because I've seen them grow up, and I'm proud of them for what they've done and the ambassadors that they have been for paintball, and they're still doing. So I want to go into and back to that Great Western '97. Do you remember that tournament?
Of course, I remember that tournament. We that's how we saw you. That's where we met you. As we saw you do this incredible move, and Alex to this day will still call it a Rabikoff. You know.
So you remember that?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember. I mean, you didn't know us, obviously, but I think you were playing guesting with the Iron Man or something like that. Out of control. Yeah, he's on the Iron Man at the time, playing with Out of Control, and he comes up over this berm. It's kind of like a sand dune. Yeah, and Eric Felix is in there, and you just smoke him, and then come smoke like two other guys, and we were just like, whoa, like that's like really, you know, that makes a big impression in the longevity of a paintball player's career. I mean, we still remember that now, and you know how orthodox it would seem if we were to see that now. Seeing it then was very impressionable, and yeah, it made it like a light bulb came on in our mind, and we're like, oh, that's possible, you know? So if that's possible, then what else is possible?
I agree that, and like what you said, revolutionary. I was doing crazy moves, but back to you, when you were coming up and you got that first pro win, you did an interview with PGI, and you motivated me back to play paintball again. I don't know if I ever told you this or not, but when you said that, hey, what inspired you? What pro player did you follow? And you said we were running around the house doing the Rabikoff, and that inspired me to keep playing paintball again. And you mentioned that, so I appreciate that.
Of course, man. You know, it goes hand in hand.
All right, so we're gonna go into our first question: the reunion. The band's back together, and it's been a good start. First PSP, win that, beat the Russians, go to Europe, and get another win. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's really tough to play right now, especially in the pro circuit, just because the ability of all the players has kind of plateaued. Like, I'd say on all the top teams, all the players have the same skill set, more or less. So really what it comes down to is strategy and teamwork. And that's something that I really didn't know how it was going to click back together, having Oliver back on the team, but really it felt like he never left. And you know, we got back out there and kind of got the groove going, and just having him back is a huge boost to the guys. And if nothing else, you know, having him as a great player is kind of a bonus for all the other stuff you get, the intangibles. You know, just the you know, the motivation, the heart, the encouragement, and those are the things that really make the difference between winning and losing. And yeah, I think we're gonna push forward.
I agree. So the reunion back together, how's it feel?
You know, it feels nice. It was a lot of people, you know, they don't understand why I left. They don't understand why I came back. You know, I mean, we all live our lives. We all, you know, need to do things that we need to do. And you know, one of the hardest things for me was leaving the team in the first place. And, you know, looking into, you know, 12 guys' eyes, you know, 4 guys that are my best of friends. Alex, which is hands down my best friend on this entire earth, and telling him such devastating news. You know, I mean, I didn't sleep well for 2 years after that. I didn't talk to these guys for 2 years after that. You know, not that they were mad at me, they were upset at me, but, you know, and I had to do what I had to do. And, you know, I mean, I remember I still had dreams, like, about, like, hanging out with Alex, like, talking to Alex. And I mean, Alex, honestly, Alex truly believed that I was never going to come back. And so, you know, it was about a year ago, you know, where we kind of just had these little, like, interactions of, hey, you know, maybe next year, you know. And it was, you know, you just kind of joke about it. But I knew that deep down inside, I dearly wanted it. One day I wanted to come back and play with him. And it'd only be natural. It only makes sense. And, you know, I mean, it happened, and it couldn't have happened in a better way, in a better situation. I feel that, you know, I left for those years, which was a long time, 5 years, and you know, they had their hardship and their struggle, and they learned a lot from it. I learned a lot from it, having to do what I did, and now we can come back and we can just live cohesively and play in this, and do what we do best together, take what we learned in these years and really finesse it and kind of make the ultimate paintball machine. And we're still far from doing that, but we're going to get to that level where, I mean, we've assembled an all-star roster of people that you guys might not know, but, you know, Dalton and Mouse and Mason, the kids that want to learn, kids that want to play good, that have good attitudes, that are good people, that are willing to work hard. And with the combination of, now we're the paintball veterans, and with that, I mean, you look at any sport, the paintball veterans, those are the crafty guys. Those are the guys that know how to win. Those are the guys that have been in the trenches. And, you know, you need those veterans, but at the same time, we're also young, and we're also still learning. And now it's a whole new growth process, and we're starting fresh. You know, I mean, we have the possibility to do what we did before again.
I agree. They like you said, the team has gone through a little bit of ups and downs, and you being back, and you're right, with the experience that you guys have had and the tournament knowledge that you guys have, to bringing guys like Mouse and Dalton and Glenn Takamoto's there. He's a veteran, of course, but you guys can definitely go around. You've started that, and it's exciting. I'm glad to see you guys doing what you're doing, because it's good for paintball. We need some rivalries again. I want to watch the Russians and Dynasty play again, because that's what we're used to seeing. So I'm glad to see that. All right, so you guys do a lot of traveling. You do a lot of traveling, and I think that's the best part of paintball. Like, we've all experienced traveling the world, meeting great people. And what's the best part of traveling with the team?
I mean, when you're traveling, obviously you don't want to be with a bunch of guys you're uncomfortable to be around, or don't know or don't like. And I think that a lot of times paintball teams will have a downfall because of that, having, you know, a rift in communication off the field, or perspective on just life. And that's something that, you know, we really don't have. I think, you know, we're friends off the field before we're friends on the field. So I think that's a really strong foundation. And traveling, you know, you want to be with your friends. So, you know, and then you know, winning and being successful in paintball is kind of a byproduct of that. But yeah, traveling's fun. You screw around, drink, and, you know, carry on and have fun and do your thing. So.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, you know, sitting on the airplane for 12 hours, traveling through airports, transit, eating this food, doing this. I mean, it's the joy, it's the luxuries, it's also the pain. And, you know, the people that you're with grow on you, you know, and especially if you like them and they're your friends outside, and you can goof around, you goof off, and you see sights. And, I mean, that's all a very important factor to becoming a successful paintball team. If you don't like the people that are on your team, it's just like working with someone that you don't like. If you don't like your coworker, you're never going to bring your company or business to the highest possible level it could be. You know, you need to enjoy spending time with them, you know, and that's the bottom line. And traveling with your team that's the richest thing that we can do. We don't get paid to do this anymore, you know. We make a little bit of money here and there, but I've seen and been and done and eaten and tasted and smelled more things than the average American will ever do in his entire life. Whether he's a millionaire or a billionaire, I've done more things than a lot of people, and that's where my wealth comes in.
All right, this is for both of you. Who on the team is the slowest to get on the field during practice?
I mean, we actually right now have a good group. I mean, throughout the years, you've got, you know, Dave Baines, people that just straight lag. But you know, I think right now, I mean, Oliver was having gun issues, but you can't really blame it on that. I would never, you know. I would say Glenn. I would say Glenn Takamoto. But you know what? Glenn, I think he's got a little fire under his ass now. He's like, you know, I got to step it up or Dalton's going to take my spot. So that's the kind of environment we want. But
yeah, and I think that's why you guys have got off to a big start this year. And obviously we're at Huntington Beach, and it's still wide open. All right, so craziest fans over the years, what's the craziest thing you've seen one of your Dynasty fans do while you're traveling, or any tournament that you've ever been to?
You know, we've had a lot of really intense fans that are, you know, borderline obsessed. But you know, I'm not gonna rag on those people, because that's what, you know, makes us valuable in the world, or at least in tournament paintball, or people like that. And you know, it's definitely, yeah, it's honestly the highest compliment that you can get is someone asks for your autograph. I would have never thought that when I started playing paintball, and now people are asking for your autograph. You know, it's something you never want to take for granted either. You know, you really, you know, embrace that. But you know, I've seen people with Dynasty tattoos. I've signed a baby. You know, stuff stuff like that. So, yeah, there's a chick with a Lasoya tattoo out there. I mean, just Lasoya's not on Dynasty, but she's out there somewhere.
Where are you? We want to know.
Well, not the craziest thing, but it's crazy to me because it's a huge thing. As I've got some fans that are close friends of mine, people that I've seen for years, and one of them just had a baby and named his baby after me. And that's like, I mean, that's kind of beyond flattering, and that's not crazy at all. It's crazy just to think that you could get to a level in your life where people are naming their children after you, and that is I mean, there's not too many people out there that can say that,
That's definitely a compliment and flattering at the same time. So I think that's pretty cool. All right, who on the team explodes in the pits the most, and what spectacular technique do you use to calm them down? So who's the nuttiest guy who goes crazy?
Well, honestly, we haven't really had an upset yet. And on this team, there's not too many really emotionally driven people. Like I've been on teams where people just freak out to freak out, and that's their show, and that's their play, and that's kind of maybe what, stifles them up. I think, I would say that Hinman is obviously by far the most emotional, but he's there for, he's got his way, and that's the way he gets amped up, the way he thinks, he wants to get us amped up, and that's okay, and I'm all right with that. Honestly, though, our team is pretty level-headed, Ryan, without a doubt, is a madman, but he is a paintball genius at the same time, so when he blows up or freaks out, Alex and I both have to deal with that. We're like, whoa, calm down. And that actually just instigates him a little bit more to freak out. But at the end of the day, we come up with a strategic plan, and we win. And again, like I said, it's too early in the year to really figure it out, but we don't really have head cases on this team. And that's, I think, one of the major things with the success of this team already.
Yeah, because over the years, there has been some crazy head cases on the team. We'll just leave that as is. Yeah, we're not going to go there. All right, if you could go back and replay any match of a past season, what match would that be and why?
I would like to replay us Dynasty versus Ironman in, I think it was MAO. I think we were up like 3 or 4 points. They had a penalty. They came back, went to overtime. We lost. And there were things we could have done or not done to win that. And I honestly felt that we were playing good enough to win the tournament. And I don't know if they won the tournament or not, but I think they did. They beat the All-Americans to win the tournament. But I was either last year or the year before. I don't know. It all runs together now. But I remember the games, and I remember that one. And we came out punching, and we came out hot, and we just let it slip away. But, you can't think like that. It's the way it went, and I'm looking forward to this one.
If you could replay any match, who would it be?
I was just thinking about that. I mean, this is kind of an open-ended way to answer this, but I truly firmly believe that when you mess up, it's for the better. And I've messed up a lot of times in my life, but I've also probably won more than most people have won in their life. So, and I can attest to messing up and losing for those wins. I remember one of the first years we played, like you said on Lofty, we took second place. Had we have won one of those tournaments before losing all those events, maybe we would not have been as successful today. So I feel that even if we lose this weekend, in this growth process, it's for the better, because one day we're going to win everything. And I can look back and say, oh, man, I remember when I messed up and I wanted to take that game back. But now I figured it out and I won.
Who on the team has a skill off the field that you envy?
I would say, Ryan and Oliver are both pretty suave guys and have their way with the ladies. So I'd say Oliver's macking ability. It's a nice skill. Yosh's got a pretty mechanical mind, so his engineering sense is good, and his strength, he's like an ogre. So yeah.
What do you got?
Well, without a doubt, I'd say, and this is not just going back to Alex because he gave me that compliment, but Alex does actually have a very intelligent mind, and he knows a lot. Like, he takes the time to read and do art and research stuff and listen to music. Like, he's a very eclectic person that has, good taste, and not only in music and that sort of stuff, but also like food and travel. He's a very smart person, and I can't wait till the one day where I can sit down and read a book and not have to worry about some stuff. But I think he has that nice life where he takes some time to to read about stuff and, you know, learn about things. And, you know, at the end of the day, that's when you become a more enlightened, higher individual, you know.
All right, here's a question I know a lot of people want to know about. It says, how close do you have to pay attention to the competition? Or do you guys just show up on the day and just roll everybody? Or is that, because people want to know, what do you do?
Well, there's a lot of great people playing paintball right now, and one thing you can never do is take your opponent for granted. And no matter who it is, whether you've never seen him before, whether he's been playing forever, whether he's your best friend, whether, you know, he's your worst enemy. So, I mean, that's one thing that you can never do enough of is preparation. And I mean, right now we should be up there preparing, and we're down here. But that's okay, you know. I mean, there's a medium. There is, you can't overanalyze stuff, but you know, you're constantly playing the game in your mind, and you're constantly trying to analyze what your opponent's going to do. So, yeah, you want to always keep your guard up.
For me, I know over the years that a lot of people think these two guys don't pay attention, but I guarantee you they know a lot about every player up there that's playing, what they do, what their tendencies are. Does their legs start twitching? Do they start making shoulder movements? They pay attention. So for any of you young players out there, if you want to get better, number one, don't start and blame the refs. Number one, right? Don't blame the refs, but pay attention to your players. That's how you get better. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, without it. I mean, everything Alex said is very true. I'm actually more fearful of these a new player that comes into the league or a new team. I don't know who they are. I don't know what they're capable of doing. You know, I don't know their tendencies. You're right. Like, and I know how far people will go, and that's a very important thing. You need to know your opponents. You need to know how they play. Are they going to come at you? Are they going to sit on you? Are they going to, they're going to gunfight with you? Are they smart? Are they going to make a good move on you? And these are all things to take into consideration, and that's obviously, I think, one of the things about being wise and older now, like I said, more of a veteran player, is because we've been around for so long. I know how all of these guys play, and they know how I play. They should know how I play, and that's a big deal, you know.
All right, guys. So, what's one thing you wish we all saw less in our industry? If you could pick just one thing, you don't have to go in a lot, but if you could pick one thing that we need less in our industry, what would it be?
Well, this might sound like kind of a cliche or whatever, but I would like to see less competition. And what I mean is not competition between, the companies to make a better product or to sell stuff, but competition to try to, my dad put it this way. He put two glasses, like drinking glasses, up in front of me one time, and one was all smudged up and the other one was clean. And he gave the clean one to me, and he was holding the dirty one, and he said, "So, Alex, what would you rather do? Would you rather put dirt on my glass, or would you rather clean your glass?" So I said, I'd rather clean my glass, because, if I put dirt on his glass, then my glass would still be dirty. So the idea there is, maybe if the paintball companies could work together a little bit to try to achieve a common goal, like, whether it's get on TV or, have a successful business in the mass market like Walmart, or run a paintball tournament. You have 3 different leagues right now. There could be one league, and all the companies could be working together to make paintball better, and in turn, they would have a bigger market instead of trying to screw each other over to grab pieces of the small market. So, if they would be able to put their personal differences aside and move in a more cohesive direction, I think that, paintball might have a shot of becoming real big someday.
I agree 100% on everything you said. Thanks. What about you? What do you think?
I mean, that's a perfect answer. I mean, there's a lot of faults in our industry. It's unfortunate, but I think it's kind of the people that are spearheading this industry. And I don't know if it's lack of intelligence or lack of, preparation or lack of, I don't know what it is, but we all know that there's something here. We know that this ideally could be a gold mine one day. And I just wish people could work in unison and partner up. And, it's like people just they're selfish, and maybe that's it ultimately. And maybe that's just the human species, but people are selfish and they want it all for themselves right now. And they want to control it, and they want to be the people that are in the limelight. And it's like, man, honestly, who cares about that? We've been doing this for so long now. Let's all work together and let's figure something out. Let's all play one general league, one general format with these sponsors that are happy. Like, man, let everybody else make a couple bucks. I'm a little business owner myself now, and I want another business to be next to me that's thriving and doing well. Why? Because that's going to bring other customers there. It's like if we're all helping each other out and working together in unison, then, I mean, you know, it's limitless. We could be as big as football or baseball or whatever it may be. We might even be bigger one day. You never know, you know?
I agree. It's like if you look at the motocross industry, skateboarding, look at X Games. There's one league. There's one circuit. And they run that, and we need one circuit. So if you're listening out there, industry, please, one circuit, man. This is old. So this is GabFest 2011, Huntington Beach. I've got Alex Frazier, Oliver Lang, Team Dynasty. We'll wait and see how this weekend turns out for these guys, and we're all going to watch. Later.
Thanks for watching BuyPBL's GabFest. For more information on upcoming programs, visit gab-fest.com. While you're there, join the discussions.